close your eyes. We must not trust them. Tell me what comes into your mind.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay. And you're a gay rights activist.
What's up, guys? Your boy Benny. So ask yourself something. How does this happen? How does one of the world's, arguably the world's most beloved franchise come to this? How did it come to this? 14% audience score. Over 10,000 ratings for The Acolyte. Many wise people, much wiser than me, have called this the franchise killer, saying that there is no return. Many people who worked at Disney have said, oh, it's going to get much worse. You don't understand how bad it is. And maybe today we will begin to understand how bad it is, because there has been a leaked video of an executive inside of Disney explaining how bad it is, and actually how Disney is most likely going to face a lawsuit based on their DEI initiatives because they are so patently racist. Because, of course, if you begin to preference one group of people over the color of their skin, it's racist by definition. From IMBD, we go from Rotten Tomatoes to IMBD. Disney can no longer play the victim to get out of this. The franchise can no longer fan blame for breaking George Lucas's franchise. From IMBD. Isn't that incredible? Ladies and gentlemen, there are only a few people you should listen to in times like this. South Park is one of them. All right. South Park told us a long time ago with the Panda Stone exactly what Disney was doing. South Park told us what they were about to do to Star Wars. The return to the Panda Stone, time and time again, for Kathleen Kennedy. They warned us. They warned us what would happen. The Panda Stone, come on, baby. South Park should win an Emmy for this, I said at the time. How'd this do? Yeah, 3.3, 19,000 likes, 1.3 million views. Okay. You should also listen to Elon Musk in times like these. Okay? So, Elon Musk posted this. The Disney inclusion standards. It's amazing how they use language like that. No, it's the Disney racism standards. How to be racist against a specific group or group of people. An anonymous source just sent me this from Disney. It is mandatory, institutionalized racism and sexism. That's right, no white men. No white men. 55 million people viewed this. 219,000 likes, 57,000 retweets. Institutionalized racism, no more white guys, is what Elon Musk said. And now, lo and behold, James O'Keefe has spoken with, in the form of course, the classic James O'Keefe undercover camera, senior vice president at the Walt Disney Company, detailing discriminatory hiring practices. Nobody else will tell you this, but they're not going to consider any white males for the job. Says Michael Giordano, Vice President of Business Affairs. Michael Giordano, Vice President of Business Affairs, reveals there's no way we're hiring white males. And that Disney is about to face Disney will face a lawsuit. This guy's a lawyer himself. He says Disney will face a lawsuit over these practices. Okay, let's go ahead and let's go. Doesn't surprise us, I guess. That is literally how you get here. And we've seen it all play out in real time. I guess it's nice to see the culprit and the problem on screen and out of the words and the mouth of a Disney executive. Here we go.
There have been times where, there's no way we're hiring a white male person.
Just kind of unspoken.
There are times when it's spoken, but
how would they say it?
There's no way we're hiring a white male person.
Like straight to you? Or okay.
Yeah. They'd be very careful how they message that to agents.
According to these videotapes, Disney blatantly discriminates against white men in particular.
I think I'm sort of well prepared for it. I'm well positioned for it. But as far as Disney's concerned, I'm a white male. That's not who they're looking to promote at the moment.
As a white guy, even Michael has his own doubts about the possibility for advancement for himself at Disney. In fact, Michael actually got to experience Disney's discrimination against white males firsthand.
I've been at the company 11 years now, so I have friends in HR and I have friends in those divisions, and they're like, look, nobody else is going to tell you this, Mike, but they're not considering any white males for the job. They're just not. That's not what they want.
They even passed over a qualified half-black person for a promotion because they didn't look black enough.
We wanted to hire somebody in the department a few years ago now, who was half black, but didn't appear half black. And there was a creative executive who was like, "We're not that's not what's wrong." They wanted somebody in meetings who would appear a certain way, and he wasn't gonna bring that to the meeting. I mean, it kind of feels like we're, at some point there's going to be a lawsuit. That's kind of how it feels, just because of,
And that is a lawyer talking. So how does Disney explain pushing these discriminatory practices? They use code words and buzzwords.
I'm guessing that there's acceptable code words and buzzwords that are used to explain what they're looking for. They might say something like, look, we're not looking at the usual suspects for this job. So it's not a legally actionable thing. But everybody knows what it means. They, for writers and actors, you hear all the time, I'm looking to hire writers and actors who bring diversity. I'm not looking to bring on any more clients who are white.
So it's just old school racism. And if you read through this document, you can see that Disney, which explains so very much about Disney's performance and extraordinary sharp decline in every product, because instead of hiring based on merit and are you good at this? Have you put asses in seats in theaters? Have you created great heartwarming content? In fact, Disney went and fired all of the white males that did that, like John Lasseter, the genius behind Pixar, and have then gone through and replaced them with the Force's female squad, the She-Hulk squad. Those people have begun the process of dismantling and destroying everything from Indiana Jones to Star Wars to ensure that they reign and rule over a kingdom of ashes, a kingdom with no fans and with no value. Because it's better to rule over kingdom of ashes than to not rule at all, right? And the real problem was the white men, right? These people are they are everything that they claim that they're fighting against. They are racist by nature and by action and by deed. And they are sexist by nature, action, and deed. It's amazing when you actually listen to the clips of this guy talk.
That you'll have the opportunity at Disney?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I think I'm sort of well prepared for it. I'm well positioned for it. But as far as Disney's concerned, I'm a white male, and that's not who they're looking to promote at the moment.
Oh, okay. Okay. Swap, reverse it. I'm a Latino male. I'm a black male. I'm an Asian male. But you could hear that, those words possibly being spoken at the turn of the century, right? Maybe 100 or more years ago, you could hear that. You could potentially hear that being said. I'm not arguing that that's right. I'm saying that's wrong. Okay, of course. Hire people based on merit is right. Are you good at this? But if it's wrong, then, I'm a black male, Disney doesn't want to hire me because I'm black. Wrong then, I'm a white male, Disney doesn't want to hire me because I'm white. Wrong now. Do you see? No. Can you see? These people can't see. All they can see is their little quota boxes. Take a step back. Who are the bad guys throughout history? Well, certainly through modern history, the bad guys are the ones who kept racial quotas of everything. Too many of that over here, too many of them over there. Those tend to be the bad guys, I don't know, in the movies, for instance, Disney, some of the movies that you've made. Oh, we're keeping racial quotas, okay? Make sure we don't get too many of them or too many of those over here, right? Those tend to be the bad people throughout history. Yet Disney keeps their own little racial quota checklist. Could you not?
Keeps in a huge spreadsheet. Yeah.
Huge spreadsheet.
What kind of spreadsheet?
Oh, I mean, I haven't seen it exactly, but I mean, literally, like, you know, they have stats. 17% of our executives at this level identify as XYZ. 40% of our executives at this level identify as, you know.
It explains so much.
Dude, they have goals that they're trying to hit. They want a certain percentage of diversity here, a certain percentage of diversity there.
But are these like, these are open goals? Because you're saying they can't say it in such specific terms. So are they open goals?
They are open goals at a senior enough level.
So it's racial quotas, just like racial. So it's like racial and identity quotas, and Disney is just trying to hit numbers to make sure you have enough of this and enough of that. Those are never the good guys. Those are always the bad guys. Those are always the people that like are this close to the verge of collapse. And where's it all coming from?
Like Bob has a say in the diversity stuff when they're casting people, like
100%.
to what
He gives the directive. I mean,
for each show, for each.
not that specifically, but like, you know, hey, I want every show to have substantial diversity.
Wow. So it all comes from Bob Iger. And you know, what's quite fascinating is that over the last 5 years, Bob Iger has been in charge of this company, and the stock has done that. Boy, that is not. So if you put your money in Disney 5 years ago, then you're down 27%. You're down 38 total points. Boy, how's that all paying off for you, Bob? All the racism against white people. How's that paying off for you? How's that doing? How's that Forces Female doing for you? It is incredible. You got to go watch the entire thing, but I'll play you one last final one that is just too big of a banger. So they say, you know, Disney's all about, right, uplifting black voices. Yeah, but only certain types of black voices, right? Doubt Candace Owens could get herself a Disney show. But also, if you're not black, if you're not the right kind of black person, then you ain't getting hired at Disney too, according to a Disney vice president. Listen.
We had a situation where we wanted to hire somebody in the department a few years ago now, who was half black, but didn't like appear half black. And there was a creative executive who was like, "We're not like that's not what we want." Like
They wanted the full.
they wanted somebody in meetings who would appear a certain way, and he wasn't gonna bring that to the meeting.
And so this is like on the
This was on the
corporate side, like the business side.
Never understood that. Is it like, 'cause I know a lot of, like, I have like a lot of black friends who like are not as dark as, like, you know. So do they care about that, or it's like the ethnicity actually?
Funny you ask.
They say they don't care about it, but the truth is, to some extent, they do. If you're mixed, but you don't look black at all, which sometimes happens,
Yeah.
then they're like, oh, I'm not so sure. But if you're mixed and you can tell somebody's part black, but they're not like that black, then okay, that was still, it's crazy.
So Disney is exactly what you thought it was. It's a racist company that is doing literally racial checks for how much melanin you have in your skin. They're like Nazi scientists. That's what they are. They're like Nazi scientists, like doing experiments to check the racial purity or makeup of people before they bring them into Disney. And doesn't that explain everything? Doesn't that explain everything? Because that is not a system. That is not a system to get the best of the best. That is actually a system designed to do this to your most beloved brands. This isn't good. This will be the last little rant. Disney doesn't want this. I know this. I don't come for me here, but like Disney doesn't want this. This is so stupid because you're going to lose. You're going to lose billions. You're going to lose trillions over the life of the Star Wars franchise. Like, think of that trajectory of Star Wars if it was properly managed. If you didn't go for a diversity hire from the get with Kathleen Kennedy, if it was like properly cared for and managed. But Kathleen Kennedy's a psychotic lib, okay, and it is deeply possessed. Like, look what you've done. The most expensive decision is taking the boy brand that everybody loved, Star Wars, and turning it into a girls brand that nobody liked. That was the most expensive decision in the history of Hollywood. I think Chris Gore said that. Pretty sure. They don't want this. In Hollywood, they do always want money. They do always want your money. And Star Wars was a money printing machine. So, like, they did this to themselves. And this is how it happens. You actually saw how it all happens. You just saw how this happens. And so, while it doesn't surprise us, it does make us like all the more determined to say F, F Disney, Elon Musk, go F yourself. Like, you're actually the bad guys. You're actually the bad guys. You pretend you're so good and you're so holy, and you're actually the bad people. So truly, go F yourself. You filthy, bigoted, sexist, racists. You have become everything you say you fight against. Okay? So there it is. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. See ya.